So, anyways, getting into the thing I was going to talk about as far as the Great Debate community goes, there is this. So some of you people might be aware in the little Great Debate community that we have these members. We got Jade West and we got Fiona Robertson, and these are two Christians that basically it kind of feels like they're like on the skeptic side, because while some of the major Christian names in the community will basically try to argue for stuff like creationism, or you know or right now we're seeing the rise of some flat earth people. Meanwhile, these type of people, they're Christians in that, but they don't believe in creationism. Instead, they accept evolution as science, all that stuff. And meanwhile, they like to kind of mock and poke fun at Christians that basically do believe in creationism and that. And yes, as I was saying, Pin was saying on the side chat just now, you can be a Christian and still be a skeptic. Yes, I'm aware of that. Back when I called myself Christian, for a while I was, because I did accept evolution. I called myself a theistic evolutionist. That's not the problem. The problem is when what I felt is that, if you're trying to represent Christ and all that, then why is it that you're basically just going after, other people that have bad science, when some of these people, I felt that, they should basically, kind of try and be on the same side, because, technically you are on the same side. And I was basically like I can pull up that post that that I ended up sending. And this post actually ended up got inspired by a flat earth proponent in the community that runs the Flat Elected channel. He could be a troll, could not be. Goes by the name of Rand Campbell. And he made a video basically saying kind of what I'm saying in this post right now. And basically, so I'll just read it. Basically, I tagged Jade West, Fiona Robertson in it. I said, little food for thought for those of y'all who be calling yourself Christians, but like to laugh at the creationists and flat earthers and the skeptic side of the Great Debate community. Don't any of y'all find it very unchristian-like to be mocking and scoffing people like Trune Piercism, Antonio Fletcher, and Tommy Hall just because they have some anti-science stances on things, or stances on things that you feel are wrong? Do you think Jesus approves your actions of basically laughing at these people? Perhaps you should save this kind of stuff for people like Steve McRae. Sure, what they say is stupid at times, but as a non-Christian, people like me, Pin Valentine, and such are free to mock that. We don't have a theological label we are trying to be the ambassadors of. We can do what we want. But the Christians who mock and scoff at other Christians' bad science and views of the world contrary to their own in this community, are you really that much better than the atheists at this point? Wouldn't God want you to be able to work with them instead of quote unquote exposing their stupidity? Do you think Jesus approves of the Dumb Fuck of the Year award, which is basically what Red Line is made up. Red's rhetoric. Basically, I said at the end of the post, gave y'all something to think about. And it didn't really receive that much attention. Instead, I just got like one comment from Fiona. So I was thinking, okay, well, maybe people would talk about this more if there was actually a hangout about it. So I talked to Wayne Fillmore about it, and basically just run on his channel. We did a hangout basically saying, should Christians be mocking creationists? And boy, did we receive a lot of flack for that one. And we open up a whole other can of worms about the Catholicism thing, and if Catholicism is really Christianity or not, which I did not want to go down that route. I didn't want to do that. That wasn't what the hangout was supposed to be about, but someone kind of brought it up, so we ended up discussing that. And to me, that just feels like a red herring or whatnot, because that's way off topic. Like, we don't need to get into that. Like, come on, let's just keep it focused. So they ended up getting mad at like both things, both the Catholicism thing and the fact that I basically called them out on what I felt maybe they shouldn't be doing according to their faith. And I just want to make my stance really clear on this, because they're saying, oh, Chef Daddy should be one of the fundies or something. That wasn't what they said, but one of the commenters did. And I'm saying to myself, look, as someone who identifies as a misotheist, which basically I don't like God, it's like I don't have an obligation to basically be like the ambassador of some sort of faith. So basically, yeah, I can make fun of these people. I can mock them. And you know what? People like Fiona and Jade, they can too. I'm not trying to be the fun police. You can do whatever you want. I'm just kind of saying, should you, according to your faith? Like is that what Jesus will want you to do? Is that really, godly and all that stuff? That's what I'm saying. Like they can do what they want, and in some ways I kind of welcome it because like, oh, good, there's some Christians that are sane. But I'm just kind of saying, like, should they do that kind of thing? Kind of some food for thought. Because sure, you know what, it got approved by a troll. Not approved, sorry. It got inspired by maybe a troll. Like Rand Campbell made a video, and that's why I kind of got inspired to do the post. But you know what? I think the point still stands, despite the fact that it got inspired by somebody who runs the Flat Out Elected channel, which is basically a flat earther channel. I don't know, AG, like what are your thoughts on it?
I agree with you. Really, I do. Like I've told you before, just people need to learn to stop contradicting themselves. It's really sad when you see it all the time, especially with people that you do like. I like Fiona and Jade, but they do need to learn that, well, basically what you said.
Yeah. Yeah, and Pin's kind of on the side that anybody is free to mock. And you know what? I even say anyone's free to mock too. Again, this isn't about whether they should be allowed to or not. It's just whether they should be. Like when they get to heaven one day, if heaven's a real place and all that stuff. Like, do you think God's going to approve of that? like that's what I'm saying. Like, I think some people kind of misrepresent, or they don't quite understand what exactly my position is. So, yeah, and Pin says, they should be like a free to mock, and it's like, yeah, they should be as well. That's why I think some of the Bible rules and that could be kind of stupid. But I'm just saying, like, should it be part of, like, according to their faith, should they be doing it? Like, Pin, when you say no, they should mock, do you think that actually is like, do you think that is consistent with their faith? Like, I'm just trying to get your opinion on it. Because Pin Valentine, if you don't know, he's typing in the group chat because his microphone's not working. So he's still kind of part of the conversation. I'm just trying to understand what he's saying since he's only typing like in like a few sentences at a time. So. Okay, so he basically says, I don't care what their faith says. You should mock those who disagree with. Yeah. I understand. Again, I understand. I'm just saying if they should or not. I guess that kind of didn't gel well with people that maybe deep down they do think that they know that there might be something wrong with what they're doing, but they don't want to admit it, kind of thing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's like it kind of triggers them deep down. That's why they got like so upset. Yeah, and Pin's saying there's nothing wrong with it. And I'm saying, yeah, there shouldn't be anything wrong with it. Like personally, that's one of the many reasons I'm a misotheist in the first place. I don't have, these moral quandaries, whatever. I don't have to like seriously think about them. Because let me tell you something. When I went by Keefe's the Elite Hunter in this great debate community, I was kind of on that level where I'd look at people like G-Man and all those people in the community, and I would like to say stuff like, like, oh, they're stupid and all this stuff, and basically, make fun of them, call them out and all this stuff. And you know what? What I was saying, I basically said, that these people, basically they're dumb, and that, you can still be a Christian and believe in evolution and all this stuff. And meanwhile, people like them, I'm pretty sure they like to call people like me out and say how, unchristian that I was like. And you know what? That really, to quote the edgy people these days, that really triggered me to the point where I was like, I made like an angry post saying, "Oh, here's all these people, they're being all stupid and all that, and being all fundamentalist. And if this is what Christianity is like, I don't want any part of it." And a part of me was like, well, people like me and Christian anarchists, and that, well, we're the better Christians because we're smarter, and we aren't as mean and fundamentalist to other people and stuff. We're not being big jerks about it. But I think deep down, a part of me was like, the reason why it bugged me so much was because maybe that's what I was supposed to be. And I didn't like that. I didn't like the fact that it basically went against, what I wanted to do.
Yep.
I still don't agree
understand.
it's using his real name, but that's just me.
I understand completely.
Yeah. So yeah, but Pin basically says it's fun to point out the unchrist-like behavior to Christians, though. Yeah, it is. And I'll admit, that's part of the reason why I kind of did it. Because it's like, hey, you like to point out that G-Man that are being unchrist-like. You people are being kind of unchrist-like yourselves in a way. And one of the other points I wanted to mention, which I didn't really get a chance to in the Hangout, was like that this community could be so much more than just people laughing at each other's stupidity and basically some of the same old things being brought up again and again, and then there being drama. But it's like people just, they don't regulate it themselves, and they don't basically call people out in the right way. Like when people, talk about true empiricism and all this stupid science stuff that he does, it's like, the way I see it, it's like true empiricism should have been laughed from the community long ago for all the stuff that he, like, people, like, they want, it's almost like they want him around just so they can keep doing the whole drama thing. It's like his kind of stupidity is like, we should just be done with it.
Exactly. Thank you for saying that.
I'm glad you agree.
Well, of course I agree. I'm not that kind of person who would just keep someone around just to keep laughing at them. That's really cruel, and it makes you the idiot.
Yeah, it's like, let's just make a few videos on him. So, okay, here you are, here's true empiricism, being a dumb fuck. And then it's like, here he is being a dumb fuck again. And then it's like, he does a response, you one more response. You do one big expose on him, and it's like, what? Then you're done with him. It's like, you don't need to keep, you don't need to keep bringing it up, because it's almost like he himself feeds off of the drama.
Exactly, that is what it is. He feeds off of
attention,
it like
so then he makes videos about Dragnot and all this stuff, and it's like, you're just feeding him. It's like, quit. It's like, you've already basically shown why he's an idiot. Like, it's fine to do that. There's people that make response videos and stuff, and yeah, go ahead and do that. But after you've shown how much of an idiot he is, it's like, be done with him. It's like, if you really want to solve problems with the community, it's like, just do that. Like, I even said to Wayne, because he's one who's running the Hangout, Wayne Fillmore, the other day, I said, I was thinking, if you want to deal with someone who has bad science or whatever in the community, you make a response video on their said error or errors. Explain why they're wrong, provide evidence and sources of your own to back up your statements. If they have sources, show them why their sources are wrong. If the person gets all dishonest and refuses to admit that they're wrong and starts to cause drama, like true empiricism, nip it in the bud. Call it out immediately, like in a secondary response video before it gets out of hand. Timestamp it where the lies and such come in, like, and explain, so that way they can't just dismiss and to say, oh, you don't have any timestamps, because you will. And explain how the person is wrong. Do like a full expose video on them that they cannot recover from. And don't get all mad or anything. Just calmly point out each and every fabrication before it gets too out of hand. Then share that thing like crazy on Google+. So if someone wants to be a slanderer, they all outed so badly that they'll never want to try that crap again, right? So,
right.
Yeah. And then you don't just keep them around. Like, it's like, at this point, if they still don't learn, leave them the fuck alone. They don't need your attention. Like they're either just hungry for attention or being delusional. Like, people should be done with true empiricism by now. Wipe the dust off your sandals with them. Like, like at least you at least you agree with what I'm saying.
I do.
Yeah.
Wholeheartedly. Just let it go.
Yeah. Like, I don't know, I just find, like, to be honest, like, I feel half the hangouts that some of these people do are not even beneficial at all already. Like, some would say, oh, it's for education. It's like, I can only imagine them being only so educational to only some sort of people. I mean, it is the nature of this community. Like, it more thrives off of drama than the education that they say it does. Like, someone like me, I just see it as entertainment mainly anyhow. But I'm saying, like, if you want it to be so much more than that, you just got to hold people accountable more often. And basically, I guess not be afraid to point out when someone is wrong, basically, on both sides.